Greetings, everyone. Back at it again. Let's get into Act 4, Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous. We had just arrived at the arena, so let's see what they have to say. A demon in a blood-spattered apron fussily shoves a few foul-looking chunks of flesh into his apron pockets. His fingers are fitted with horrible steel claws, and you hear the unpleasant sound of metal on metal as he slides them against one another like scissors. He looks up in your direction with an insane grin, and his voice makes your skin crawl. Are you one of the gladiators? Do you need a healer? Or are you here because you want to become more powerful? Can you make me stronger? The healer looks at you eagerly. You hear the shrill screech of metal against metal as he rubs his steel claws together excitedly. For 30,000 gold, I'll stitch you up into something better. Much, much better. I beg you to reconsider. The power he promises is tainted by corruption. The demon grins and gives Ember an appraising glance. I can fix you too. Give you new fingers. Would you like that, sweetie? The healer's beady little eyes glisten, and you hear the rasping sound of his knife-like fingers as he rubs them together impatiently. Ember shakes her head with an embarrassed smile. You are so kind and caring, but no, thank you. I don't need new fingers. You should stitch them onto someone else. Please, will you give them to someone who really needs them? Are you sure? All right, fine. Mr. Mad Scientist, sir, let me offer myself up as a subject for your experimentation. Feel free to carve me up and stitch me back together as you see fit. Please don't do this. Do not let him defile your beauty and corrupt your pure soul. Oh, please. There's no need to fret. It's not as though she's in any danger of ruining her good looks. She can't possibly get any uglier than she is right now. The demon sizes Nanio up and nods approvingly. You'll do nicely. The price is still the same, 30,000 gold. But we'll talk about that later. No deal. The demon examines you with a sigh. He looks visibly disappointed. A shame. You could have made a magnificent... Never mind. Oh, why, you can make Nanio stronger? I don't remember. I didn't bring her before. Oh. I'll have to do that when I'm a demon. All right. Who are you? I am the most important person in the battle place. I am a healer, or as they call me, a stitcher. They drag these poor, bleeding fools from the arena so I can stitch them back together piece by piece. And I do mean that quite literally, since most of them are in pieces by the time they get to me. At first, I simply reattach the severed limbs of wounded fighters. Now, however, my methods are far more interesting. Someone from Nocticula's inner circle taught me the secret of grading flesh. By combining the flesh of different gladiators, I create the strongest, craftiest, most talented fighters. Oh, yes, in these chambers, invincible gladiators are born. I am so close to achieving perfection. Soon, my methods will produce better results than the Hindran crystals. The cleric wrinkles his nose in disgust. He seems offended. This is not healing. It's some heinous mockery of it. A healer should restore a body to its natural and healthy state instead of turning it into something disgusting. He does the best he can to help his patients. Here in the Abyss, nothing can be done without pain, suffering, and violence. But he still helps others, even if his methods are cruel. His work saves lives. These fighters would die without him. Isn't that better than not helping them at all? Nahindrian crystals? Nahindrian crystals are something of a legend here in Alashinra. Almost no one knows what they actually are or how to get their hands on them. It all started with a few demons here in the city. These demons suddenly became very powerful in a short period of time. The transformation happened almost overnight. According to the rumors, these demons received these incredible powers from the Hindran crystals. Now, all of Alan Shinra is crazy for these crystals. They're all anyone talks about these days. And all the merchant knows is if you call your goods Nahindrian, you can easily double the initial price of your wares. I could use the help of a healer. Ember likes him, so I'm not going to call him a butcher. The demon dismisses you with a wave of his hand. I don't bother with regular wounds. They are not worthy of my craft. Just drink a potion and you'll be fine. All right, let's see. What do you have? Do I need any of this? No. Ooh, +4. You know, I can't help it. I'll give it to what's her face? No. 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 Definitely not. Sell that. Don't need more of those. I probably need more of those. Ruby ring. Ooh. And I don't need that either. What's book cleansing? No, I'm good. Okay. Do you gloves of the neophyte? Whenever the wearer of these gloves casts a cantrip or first level spell, that would be never at this point. Apprentice lockpick. Engraved. Oh, that's a +1. No, I'm good on that. Unbending armor. I don't need that either. I don't have anyone who would use a heavy flail. So they said we can go ahead and get rid of the camping gear, right? And I have some camping gear left. I swear I did. Why am I not seeing it? All right. Looks like for whatever reason, somehow, even though I had like 17 of them bad boys, there is no more camping gear in my inventory. All right. Deal with that. Cool. Save. A stern but tired-looking tiefling observes you politely. His clothes look expensive but tasteful. He's carrying a large bag, and every once in a while it moves and twitches as if something is inside. Welcome to the Battle Bliss Arena. My name is Zeklex. I'm the arena steward. Emmergaleth is the master of the arena, but I help him manage its affairs. You look like you're new here. Did you come to spectate the fights or to participate in them? The tiefling has a surprisingly open and honest face. After all these demons, he looks strangely normal. The tiefling eyes you up and down with the calm professionalism of a person doing not the most pleasant job in a most diligent way. During the fight in the Battle Bliss, prayers and curses are uttered equally often, both on the arena and in the audience. Perhaps you'll be the one who manages to shift the balance towards prayers. Mangaleth? I remember a demon called him Mangaleth. He was a vile, cunning murderer. He had a way with words that was just as deadly as his skill in battle. There's a rustling sound from within the tiefling's bag, and an imp peeks his head out to look at you. He has large, drooping ears and stares at you with huge, unblinking eyes. Then, as if suddenly shy, he darts back into the bag and vanishes from sight. I'd like to talk to Ermengaleth. The imp pokes his head out of the bag in surprise. You seem to have aroused his curiosity. His sad, drooping ears perk up with excitement, and he stares at you with his big, round eyes. You wish to speak with Ermengaleth. I'm afraid that's impossible. Ermengaleth never communicates with anyone except his most trusted aides, and Gelderfang is under strict orders to kill anyone who tries to talk to his master without permission. Ermengaleth believes that minimizing his contact with the outside world will make him, the audience in the arena, want him even more. I'd like to know more about you. Tiefling smiles wryly and addresses the imp in his bag. You see, Crow? This is why we work so hard to climb the ranks. We want it to be important. And now look, this stranger wants to know all about us. I guess that means we're finally a big deal. Who are you? I'm the arena steward. My position is prestigious, but my success is hard-earned. My life has not been easy. I grew up on the streets of Alan Shinra. I was a street urchin, an orphan. I'm the result of an act of violence committed against a helpless slave woman. I've always been weak. I've always been surrounded by those who are bigger and stronger than me. All my life, I've had to rely on my wits to survive. Out on the streets, I scrounged around for food and tried to avoid becoming someone else's snack. Fortunately, I had someone to look out for me. The tiefling takes a small piece of dried meat and holds it close to the bag. Quick as a flash, a scrawny paw darts from the bag and snatches up the treat. Crow has been my companion for a long time. He is also my partner in business. Together, we saved up our money, one coin at a time. We made allies and sought out opportunities for advancement. We've worked hard to climb the ranks of society. In the beginning, our goals were simple: never starve again, never live in poverty again, and never fear for our lives again. Trust me, those goals aren't easy to accomplish here in the Abyss. You have to be very influential in this city to achieve any of those things. But we've managed to make our goals a reality. In fact, we've been doing quite well for ourselves here on Alan Shinra. What's your role here? Ermiga left as an artist, not a clerk. That's why I have so many responsibilities. I search for new fighters, I make the fight charts and arrange the fights so that the opponents are evenly matched. And of course, I organize all of the matches. Unfortunately, my master has a habit of interfering with my work. He's been very involved lately, and as a result, the fights have been terrible. The combat turns into meaningless carnage. There's no skill, no strategy involved. And of course, no one wants to place bets on fights like that. Everyone already knows who's going to win. There aren't even fights anymore, they're just public executions. That's also a form of entertainment, of course, but it's not what our audience wants. You don't look like you belong in the Abyss. The imp peeks out of the bag, and the tiefling grins and he pats his companion's tiny little head. That's because I like to stay organized. When I was growing up, I made mental lists of all my possessions, my money, my enemy and allies, my schedule, and my goals. I was weaker than everyone else, and these mental calculations helped me to survive. It was the only advantage I had, the only way that I could gain the upper hand. And keeping lists became a habit. I found that it disciplines the mind and keeps my thoughts organized. I'm an accountant by nature, and my ability to bring order to a place where chaos reigns has turned out to be a profitable skill. Who is that imp hiding in your bag? The tiefling smiles as a little creature peeks curiously out of the bag. It has big drooping ears, a small round face, and big round eyes that gaze at you curiously. This is Crow. He's my business partner. He also happens to be my familiar. I have no idea how he wound up in the Abyss, but he's not had an easy time of it either. If our paths hadn't crossed, we'd both be dead by now. He's probably the only one I truly trust. The imp fidgets beneath your gaze and finally darts back down into the bag to hide. It is odd to see an imp, an infernal creature, here in the Abyss. The very chaotic energy of this place might feel repulsive to the creature who was born on the plane of order and evil. Your imp is an infernal creature. How come he still survives here in the Abyss? Zexlax looks at you with respect. It's nice to meet a person who knows the difference between an imp and a quasit. Yes, Crow is a devil, though a lesser one. I have no idea how he ended up here, but at the time we met, he felt extremely unwell. Staying in the Abyss is not much easier for him than staying underwater for a mortal. That's why I spent the first real money I'd earned. Fine, stolen to order this bag. It has magical symbols sewn inside and they make its space bearable for Crow. I have no more questions. I'm glad I could satisfy your curiosity. I'd like to know more about the Battle Bliss. What would you like to know? The arena's operations are simple. It functions like a pyramid. The spectators are the lowest level. Regular gladiators on the next tier, followed by members of the Hendrian League. The champion towers above them all, and the master of the arena stands on his shoulders like an omnipotent god. Tell me more about what happens in the arena. The Battle Bliss is a gladiatorial arena. You must understand, fights are a big deal in Achinura. They are the city's primary source of gossip and entertainment, but they are much more than that. These gladiatorial matches serve as a kind of ritual, a daily offering to the demonic way of life. And these daily offerings, these rituals, are performed in the Battle Bliss. In a way, it's more of a temple than an arena. The arena is the only reason this city is still standing. Without the Battle Bliss, the demons would have brought Alan Shinra to ruins long ago. But instead of tearing down the city with their rage and their desire for slaughter, they come here to quench their thirst for blood. You see, the arena gives them a sort of release. It allows them to satiate their lust for violence. Who runs this place? His name is Ermingaleth. He's a Cambion. He was born in the abyss as the offering of an incubus and a mortal woman. Incubi are naturally persuasive, but Ermingaleth's father was especially skilled at using his words to manipulate and control. Well, his son inherited his silver tongue. His ability to influence a crowd is unmatched. With just the sound of his voice, he can instantly instigate a riot or make a screaming group of demons fall silent and listen to his every word. When he warms up the audience, the spectators are ready to jump into the arena and fight the gladiators themselves. Who is the strongest fighter in the arena? The champion's title is currently held by an incubus named Gelderfang. He is the deadliest of Ermengaleth's fighters and serves as his bodyguard. He's a true artist of death and destruction. Of course, there are other fighters in the abyss who are more dangerous, but no one can kill like he does. He makes every death exquisite and prolongs the agony and suffering of his opponents. He can transform any fight into a spectacle show. He turns combat into a performance and knows how to create a dramatic spectacle out of the most mundane match. There are only two things Gelderfang wants in life: pleasure and murder. They are his obsession, and he feeds that obsession every time he steps into the arena. After all, everyone in Alan Shinra knows his name, and the audience yells it at the top of their lungs every time he kills one of his rivals. What is the Nahindrian League? It's an odd name, I admit, but it's in keeping with the latest trend. Nahindrian is a very popular word in Alan Shinra these days. The Nahindrian League is led by the arena's current champion, Gelderfang, and only the very best gladiators can become members. The fighters of the league belong to Ermengaleth, but not all of them are demons. Alan Shinra serves as a crossroad between multiple worlds, and fighters come from many different planes to perform in the arena. I've heard of Nahindrian crystals. Do you get them if you're a member of the league? And Zeklix gives you a faint smile. They'd like you to believe that, but no. The members of the Nahindrian League are no different than the Nahindrian booze vendor in the tavern or the Nahindrian whip slayer at the flesh markets. None of them actually have access to the crystals. I've heard that Nahindrian crystals contain immense power. Gelderfang would love to have one, and there are rumors that Ermingaleth promised him a crystal in exchange for his services as a bodyguard. Of course, it wouldn't surprise me to find out that Ermingaleth was lying. I'm not sure even he knows how to get his hands on a Nahindrian crystal. I understand. I'm glad I can satisfy your curiosity. I want all of Alan Shinra to know my name. I want you to arrange a match with me against your strongest gladiator. The tiefling falls silent. He looks as though he is calculating something in his head. Finally, he responds. If that is truly your goal, you will have to defeat the current champion. If you kill Gelderfang, your name will be on everyone's lips. But you have to prove yourself if you want to face the champion. A fight with Gelderfang is a big deal here in our Shimra, and only members of the Nahindrian League, the elite gladiators of the Battle Bliss, are considered worthy opponents. Killing others just to entertain spectators? These creatures of the abyss sow death and destruction in such a careless, casual matter. I know that our mission is important, and I know we can't allow ourselves to get distracted by feelings and emotions, but smashing skulls and eviscerating bodies just to entertain these evil creatures? I am a day. It makes me sick just to think about it. But it is extremely difficult to join the league. You have to slay an active member and take their place, so if you wish to fight the champion, you have to spend a lot of time in the arena. However, if you would like, I can arrange a fight between you and another newcomer. If you could prove yourself in battle, I'll be able to find you a match against a more reputable opponent. I've killed hundreds of demons. Why should I have to prove myself to anyone? The tiefling shrugs. I'm sure you fought countless enemies back on Galarian, but this is the abyss. No one cares. If you want the audience to respect you, you'll have to prove yourself in the arena. They won't take you seriously until you show them what you can do. Very well. I'll prove myself. I'll fight another newcomer. Tiefling nods respectfully. I'm glad that we've reached an understanding. I'm ready to enter the arena. You're in luck. For the past couple of days, Ermengaleth has been obsessed with recruiting new talent. He wants to introduce a promising new fighter into the arena. I think you could play the part perfectly. Ermengaleth may even give you a chance to earn a place in the Nahindrian League. However, if you do become a candidate for membership, be careful. You'll likely be matched up against a very dangerous opponent. Will it be a fight to the death? Of course. Every fight must end in the death of a gladiator. It's the most important part of the show. Many of our spectators come here just to watch the gladiators finish off their fallen opponents. They want to see spectacular death scenes and cunning coup de grace. Of course, some fighters survive the ordeal and can be pieced back together, but the tiefling gives you an appraising glance. I wouldn't bet on it if I were you. Who was my opponent? The tiefling looks questioningly at the imp who's peeking out of the bag. The imp shrugs and waves his hand dismissively before disappearing again. Zeklex turns back to you. Some nameless newcomer. I'm ready to enter the arena. I wish you good luck. If you die, greet death with a sweet kiss. Better still, slay all of your opponents and return alive and victorious. We will soon know which of these two titans will emerge victorious. Fighters, commence battle. I'll bite your nose off, you Galorian scum. Oh, I can't see that. Bite your nose off, you Galorian scum. I am the wild and terrible Smug Mug. Tremble before me. Hey, that whole sequence goes, this beginning announcement goes significantly quicker than it did before the update. Glad that's something they decided to fix.
Combat is adjourned.
Do I have more of these left? No. We'll do these, I guess. Lovely. We have a winner. All hail our glorious fighter. He emerges triumphant in his dangerous, violent conflict. He decorated the arena with Method guts. Give it up for Samori Sykes, the Method Slayer. Hey, who knows? Maybe someday you'll get a chance to fight against a member of the Nahindrian League once they start accepting methods into their ranks. What a jerk off. All right. Any loot? Can't remember anything. Any loot around the general area? What? No. Oh, that's not good at all.
Without a doubt.
Oops.
I will lend you my aid.
Sorry, Ember. Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, I don't think the lava hurt you in the last update. I think that's new. Zeklex greets you politely. How can I be of assistance? Is this your idea of a joke? Were you trying to humiliate me? Why did you put me up against such a ridiculous opponent? Your conversation is interrupted by an eccentric-looking demon with a suspiciously bright eyes. Judging from the slur of his words, he's under the influence of some kind of mind-altering substance. Ha! Look at that! That's the Method Slayer. Train hard, boy, and maybe someday you'll be strong enough to fight a real dretch. Zeklex frowns in irritation. With astonishing speed, he produces a dagger from his sleeve and cuts the demon's throat in one swift, clean movement. The insolent demon gurgles, staring at the tiefling in surprise. He slowly slinks to the floor beneath the contemptuous gaze of his killer. The tiefling cleans his blade with what is quite possibly the only handkerchief in the abyss. His face is pale and he looks slightly sick as he glances at the corpse. What a brute, he mutters quietly to himself. Then he turns to you. Please, listen to me before you draw your weapon. This was an outrage, yes, but it wasn't my idea. This was done on Ermengaleth's orders. He came up with the brilliant idea to match you up against a method. He thought the crowds would find it funny. I couldn't stop him, but I assure you, this will never happen again. Quick as a flash, Zeklex produces a gold coin from his bag and places it into your hand. Here, this is for you. From now on, you can freely use the transportation arch that is located near the Battle Bliss. This is one of the privileges afforded to the arena's gladiators. I demand a proper fight. Seklex closes the bag hastily to prevent the imp's agitated efforts to escape, and I promise that I will arrange a proper fight for you. But first, I need you to do me a favor. I'll arrange a match for you against the Flair twins. However, they're supposed to fight someone else, so I'll have to find them a replacement. Unfortunately, we don't have enough decent fighters left in the arena. I would be very grateful if you could procure a new batch of gladiators for me. I will cover the cost, of course. We were asked to kill those little methods, and we did. Now we asked to do another bad thing. They do not see us as crusaders anymore. They see us as one of their own. So I need to buy these gladiators at the flesh markets. Is there anything else I should know? I actually decided I do want to do this because I've never done that before. There are a lot of slavers at the flesh markets. Ermangalev usually buys fighters from Sorzakis or Weirlong, but you may find other suppliers. Oof. Buying slaves? That's a little much for me. Seklex frowns and exchanges glances with the imp as he peeks out of the bag. Why not? Does it violate your principles? This is the abyss. Scruples won't do you any good here. In fact, I'd advise you to keep your morals on a tight leash if you want to survive. But fine, Lamashtu take them. I'll try to make sure your fight with the Flair twins takes place as soon as possible. I don't like being called the Method Slayer. I want to change my title. There's nothing I can do about that, I'm afraid. The crowd loves it, and that is all that matters to Ermangalev. You'll remain the Method Slayer for as long as the audience finds it amusing. I am ready to enter the arena. The steward looks slightly worried, but nods. As you wish. It will be a difficult fight. The opponent is more dangerous than the last one you face, so make sure you are fully prepared before you enter the arena. However, if you win this fight, you'll be one step closer to earning your place in the Hindrian League. Who is my opponent? The tiefling pats the bag absentmindedly. A scrawny paw emerges and holds up two small fingers. Oh yes, the Flair twins. A dangerous duo with an impressive number of victories. They have a reputation in the arena, so defeating them will bring you honor and prestige. However, you should remember that their stage name was given to them for a reason. I'm ready to enter the arena. I wish you good luck. If you die, greet death with a sweet kiss. Better still, slay all of your opponents and return alive and victorious. We'll see which contestants survive and which one decorates the arena with their dead bodies. Fighters, commence battle. Ha! I'll make a pair of shoes. Ha! I'll make a pair of shoes out of you, you soft and spineless outsider. Is that what you think is gonna happen? Let's do that.
Sud is restless.
You still got three.
My will
What's up
is
with you?
resolute.
Do you get? Oh yeah, you got this.
What's on your mind? I
Electricity.
wonder.
Knowledge is the key to victory. A time for words.
Fair fighter would be bored, but Ermangalev will never allow boredom in his arena. You ruined my clothes. This suit used to be the skin of a respectable demon. The Flair twins are a duo no longer. It's time to think of a new nickname. Excellent. Ooh. Ooh. What a heavy blow to Alan Shinra's fashion scene. What a magnificent fight. Despite my cunning schemes, and despite the extensive experience of his rivals, the victory belongs to the Method Slayer. What are those? Whenever the wearer of this ring is 10 feet from the companion who wears the same ring, they both gain the effect of back-to-back feet. If they both already have the back-to-back feat, they gain an additional +2 bonus to AC. Why are you all going so slow? Yeah.
Never stop learning.
Never stop learning. Excellent. Excellent. Zaklex greets you politely. How can I be of assistance? My fight in the arena was far from fair. Care to explain? The imp squeals angrily as he tries to get out of the bag. Zaklex holds the bag shut, fighting to keep his belligerent companion inside. I swear it was Ermengalev's idea, and you should already know he is not a fan of fair fights. I regret that you've been caught in this trap. However, you held up well. You've got talent. I may be able to arrange a match for you against a serious opponent, maybe even the champion. I want to challenge the strongest fighter in the arena. Things don't work like that around here. Gelderfang only fights members of the Nehindrian League, and a fight with him is a big deal. After his last incident, Ermangalev strictly forbade him from entering their arena without permission. Gelderfang is his bodyguard after all, so if you want to fight the champion, you'll have to join the Nehindrian League, and there's only one way to do that, by killing another member of the League. But fighting a member of the League is a privilege. You have to earn the right to face them in a battle. Now, I might be able to help you, but first, you'll have to do me a favor. I want to give a gift to the current champion. I'd like to send him the most beautiful succubi from the 10,000 Delights. I need you to make a deal with them and convince them to provide their services to Gelderfang. If you do this, Gelderfang will agree to fight you, and I'll arrange a match between you without delay. Where can I find these succubi? There's a brothel in the middle city called the 10,000 Delights. It's run by succubi and is located near the border of the upper city. It's a magnificent place of pleasures. However, you should be careful. Once you're in there, you want to keep track of your coin purses and the time. I've known demons who stopped in at the brothel for a quick rendezvous and didn't come back out until years later. I need the gold up front. The tiefling carefully counts out the gold coins and hands them over to you. This should compensate your expenses. I have to go. Zaklex bows respectfully. From the depths of his bag, you see the glint of large, curious, round eyes. All right. Now, let's turn on this fast travel portal. Get back and recharge.
I be guide.
Okay.
I can see my destiny.
I can see my destiny. That's Lance Triceratops. Oh, okay. Talk to the hand of the Inheritor. Here, far from the eyes of strangers, I can assume my true form, but in Alan Shirai will remain hidden. It seems this sorrowful and unsettling place will be what we call home, at least for a time. What is our next step? In Alan Shinra, there is no one as powerful as Shamira, the right hand of Nocticula herself. It is she who rules the city while our inscrutable mistress is away. As sad as it is for me to admit, we must try to gain her favor if we want Alan Shinra to take us seriously. How well known am I among the denizens of Alan Shinra? No one in Alan Shinra knows your name. Yet. Tell me honestly, what do you think of the one you call the champion of Galarian? I would be lying if I told you that I don't observe you with some trepidation. Sometimes I will wonder what happened if you falter. For power and responsibility represent the most difficult trial of all, and many righteous souls have failed to pass it. I have a question about our mission. Then ask away. You must have a lot of questions. What can you tell me about the Abyss and the demons in general? demons, the hand of the Inheritor, speak slowly and heavily as they're trying to break through some inner resistance. They are the youngest race of the Outer Planes and the wildest in origin. Once, entirely different creatures used to rule the Abyss. They were Qlipoth, the embodiments of chaos. They were much less human-like. But then one entity conjured up the idea that primordial chaos could be mixed with an evil mortal soul, and that is how the first demon was created. No one remembers the name of the creator now, but the creations still live and prosper. They overthrew the Qlipoth and became the essence, the soul of the Abyss. I honestly cannot say which was worse, before humanity was added to it, or now. What do you know about Alan Shinra? Chaos has many faces. When chaos decided to manifest itself in the form of a city, Alan Shinra was born. There are places in the Abyss that are darker, bloodier, more dangerous and deceiving, but I cannot imagine a place whose significance would eclipse that of Alan Shinra. When Nocticula built the city, she employed everything of the essence that ever existed in the Abyss. Demons of all kinds from every corner of this gloomy plane lived there. And what is more, the Lady in Shadow opened the city's gates to visitors from other planes, and strangers swarmed the city. Merchants and travelers, mercenaries and explorers, mages and bards, creatures from all planes, those daring enough to visit the Abyss, chose Alan Shinra as their destination. The city is divided by two sets of walls, between which lie the quarters open to outsiders. One set of walls protects Nocticula's guests from the rabble and the poor, who are desperate enough to violate their ruler's orders for a chance to get a coin or two. The other set of walls protects outsiders from the city's nobility, who can flout Nocticula's recommendations without any reason at all, merely on a whim. But do not think that there's a single place in Alan Shinra that is safe, for danger lurks around every corner there. Tell me more about Nocticula. The Lady in Shadow, the first of the succubi kin, and likely the most dangerous demon to have ever been spawned by the Abyss. I cannot tell you much about her, for she cunningly hides in the shadows, eluding the daggers of her foes and the schemes of her rivals. All I know is that she gained power after she overthrew Viraxis, who was the lord of shadow demons. She took his powers, his realm, and his subjects, and that merely whetted her appetite. Many demon lords have perished since then, cut down by her treacherous and sudden strikes. With each fallen enemy, her power grew stronger and her glory greater. I cannot tell which of her weapons is more dangerous, her unerring strikes, her seductive charms, her unbridled courage, or her astounding stealth. You must beware of all these dangers. I'd like to know more about Shamira. Shamira, the ardent dream. This name once rang with purity and glory, but today it is tarnished with shame and treachery. Born in the upper planes, she was granted the high honor of kindling the flame of dreams in mortals, to fan it and protect it from the rich chills of sorrow and cynicism. Shamira performed her duties faithfully until she made one single mistake. I will spare you the details, but all I would say is that the grandeur of the dream she fostered was equal only to the bloody price of its realization. It was a majestic but somber dream, and Shamira let it come true. Then she fled. Either cowardice or certainty of her rectitude kept her from standing in front of her superiors and answering for her actions. She hid in the Abyss, where Nocticula, the Lady in Shadow, embraced her ardent light and darkened it with her blackness. A few centuries passed and we heard her name again. Now she was called the Mistress of Alan Shinra, Nocticula's loyal companion and favorite. That is how we know for certain that we were right on the fateful day when we condemned Shamira. Our only regret is that we failed to foresee her fall. What is so dangerous about Hepzibah? She is the worst of all Baphomet's offspring. She gained this grim title in the bloody conflict with her own brothers and sisters, and she brutally wiped out everyone who stood in her way. She did not even show mercy for her own mother and doomed her to a cruel execution. As a reward for her eagerness and loyalty, Baphomet granted her use of his most cherished tool, the Templars of the Ivory Labyrinth. However, now an even greater threat has arisen under Hepzibah's rule. Unusually powerful demons, the source of whose strength is unknown and most dangerous to us. The Crusaders have encountered such demons only a scant few times, but should an entire army of such fiends appear, Dresden would fall, Nerosan would fall, then all of Avestan would follow, and even Galarian would not stand a chance against them. Putting an end to Hepzibah's machinations, that is our mission. I see you've blessed the rocks of this cavern. Indeed, I have. If even on Galarian the abyss's harmful influence can unsettle mortals and disturb their rest, what then can be said of the abyss itself, the very heart of pain and sin? But worry not, champion. By the power granted to me by Amadei, I have consecrated these dark caves. You can find respite here and recover your strength should the need arise. Everything is clear to me now. Our mission is extremely important, so I am loath to withhold any information that may help you. I'd like to ask you a personal question. There shouldn't be any secrets between us, champion. The very instant that Queen Galfrey sent you to this dark place, I swore to myself that I would do everything within my power to ease your burden. Why did you follow me to the abyss? Because my duty and my honor demanded that I do so. You were facing a great mission and a colossal challenge, while those who remained behind merely had the honor of protecting what you had already liberated from the demon hordes. My heart told me that my help would be needed here more. How does it feel for you to be in a place like this? It's not my first foray into the abyss, though it's the first time I have come here to watch and talk rather than to do battle. On more than one occasion, I and other warriors of heaven have descended to this evil and corrupted place to bring retribution to the vile and grant salvation to their victims. For better or worse, heaven and the abyss cannot engage in open war, though I can recall some moments when we seemed to teeter on the precipice of just that. All we can permit ourselves are raids and skirmishes along the border. Is ultimate victory over the demons even possible? It is, but it's not the kind of victory you dream of. The hand of the Inheritor remains silent for a while before speaking in a heavy, hollow voice. The abyss lives while evil lives in the hearts of mortals. Demons don't just appear from nothing. Most of them originate from the souls of people who committed themselves to evil while still living. That's why the war with the abyss, should it ever start, may be never ending. The place of each fallen demon will be immediately taken by a new one. That's why our only true chance to secure ultimate victory will emerge only after we exterminate all evil in the world. We must achieve a situation where not a single soul would voluntarily resort to evil deeds, where mortals themselves, by their own free will, turn to the light all at once. But no one in the universe knows how to achieve that, and many who have tried ended up as tyrants and false prophets. May heaven guard me against such a fall. What are your thoughts on Galfrey's latest orders? I Amadei has never striven to rule over mortals. She has only guided and helped them, so I should follow her example and never try to interfere with your way of life or question it. What I will say is I am as certain of the necessity of our mission as I am the sharpness of my blade. What surprised me, and, truth be told, unsettled me too, is the cruelty with which my noble sister-in-arms Galfrey dispatched you here. The Queen has every right to give orders to a commander, but a right without righteousness is worth little. Is there anything you can help me with? I will follow you everywhere, remaining invisible so our enemies will have not the slightest suspicion of my presence. When you need advice, I will give it to you, and when you are stricken by disease, I will come to your aid and dispel it. No matter how long you may have to travel through the abyss, you can always be sure that I am near, and heaven has not forsaken you. How do you hide yourself from the demons? This magic spell turns me into an invisible spirit, hiding from the eyes of everyone who was born in the abyss and whose heart has been blackened by evil. Those who hail from other planes are capable of seeing me if they use magical sight of some kind, as well as those few whose woeful fate was to be born and raised here while carrying light and purity in their souls. But my protection from demons is very effective and will work until I myself decide to appear in my true form to join the battle or help someone in need. I have no more questions. Sincerity between the two of us is very important. Can you heal me? Let the flow of light that pours upon you cleanse your soul of all the memories of filth and blood that the abyss so generously shared with you. All right. Let me make sure of something real quick. No, I'm sorry. Here is not where I need to check it. And yep. Okay. Got all my stuff back. Excellent. Oh, wow. You got 9 uses of this, huh? And then 9 uses of that. Excellent. Okay. Let me... Okay. So, First
Without
we'll
a
go
doubt.
back. Now we're ready to move forward. No need to manually talk to your companions. You'll get a message when they're ready for a quest. Speaking of which, Amber, as much as I love you, we're going to put you on the back burner for now. Greybor, come on with us. And we're going to go back to Battle Bliss. So, Greybor's personal quest in the Abyss was broken before the update, but not in the way that prevented you from doing it. It was broken more so in a way where, like, it would tell you that certain things had, what in the hell is going on? There we go. Wait, what's this? Oh, that's the Bad Luck Tavern. Okay, cool. It would tell you certain things had been done when you had never actually been given an opportunity to do it. All right, this there. Actually, this there. The one I use the most here. I don't need that on my bar. This, right. Okay. This. Actually, Holy Word. We'll do Holy Word first, right? Because it's higher level. Yeah. And prayer. I'm almost never going to use that anymore. That's cool. Yeah, I use my healing stuff still. Almost never use that one either. Oh, wait. I use this all. I start every time with that, so I should put that down. In fact, I should put this ward down too, right? And ability drain, right? Yeah, okay. So yeah, I think we can get rid of this and instead put down this. And then we're good, right? There's nothing else we really need on the bar. Yep. Oh, that's just Magic Fang, not Greater Magic Fang. Let's get you leveled up. Oh, I still agreed with, so there's like an auto level feature, and I guess up to now I haven't disagreed with any of their choices, and I still don't. Strength, yep, that's what I want. His same old skills. You know what? Attack of Opportunity is actually a much bigger deal since the update. Yeah, oh, and you get it struck for damage and melee by another character. Yeah, sure, that's fine. Those skills. Point blank shot definitely doesn't work. Critical focus? Critical focus. Yeah, sure. So if you choose anything manually, of course, they say, okay, you got to start making your own decisions, which is fine. Confounding blades. Crippling attack. We'll take that. Blinding critical is fine with me. Excellent. Weapon focus mythic. Yeah, destructive shockwave. Even though he shouldn't be missing, I still just love having it. Boundless healing. You know what? We're gonna give you this because I haven't really given you good equipment or built you up, and I don't need you dying on me all the damn time. There we go. All right.
Keep your wits about you.
We will
Good.
win
Now,
this war.
what about you? Yep, you should be using this hand cleave. We'll put these at the end because I really shouldn't need to look at them. And we can keep those on the bar, sure. What is... Oh, okay, cool. Yep, Veil from Heaven is something I use all the time. Actually, here. This. Right, let's not forget about that. Then this. Then this. Lay on hand others. I rarely use this, but alright. And then veil of positive energy. I can flat out get rid of that. Anything else that I need? No.
Open your heart to me.
Alright. These don't need to be on the bar. This does. This, it makes sense to be on the bar. This doesn't need to be on the bar. This makes sense, but it's above, so we'll leave it there. Round per level, this should be on the bar, but it's above. This can get rid of. Hampering hacks. I almost never use this, even though it probably is useful. I never use it, so it shouldn't be on there. Don't use Evil Eye much anymore either, so it doesn't need to be on there. I only use Animal Growth once, so it doesn't need to be on there. This needs to be on. Remove Paralysis does not need to be on there. Okay, 8. This makes... This actually... That actually shouldn't need to be on there either. It should last 24 hours, but we're going to test that out. Let's see. This also should last 24 hours, but we need to test it out. This is possible. Might need this, so keep that around. Might need that. Won't necessarily use that every time, so we'll keep that around. Breath of Life shouldn't need that. Don't need that on the bar either. Shouldn't be using that, so yeah, keep that away. Okay, so
You require my unbiased opinion?
don't need this on the bar, don't need this on the bar, don't need this on the bar, don't need that, don't need that, don't need that, don't need that. Somewhat could use that. Okay, haste is by far what I use the most, so actually we'll start with crowd control. Crowd control, crowd control, crowd control. Then we get into things that I may or may not use. Electricity. I may use this sometimes in a pinch. May use that sometimes in a pinch. Don't need displacement, don't need that, don't need that. Okay, cool. Order of most likely used. So, this is always going to be around. That's probably going to be around this. Okay, cool. Abilities, do I need anything from here? No, we're good on this. Point blank shot, don't need that either. Cool, alright. Her bar is set up properly and she's set to the right thing.
Well?
She's also set to the right thing.
The goddess protects us.
You. Don't need this there. Don't need that there. Don't need that there. Don't need that. Don't need that sitting there either. Okay. Start with evocation. That's what I use the most. Then there are the buffs. We can use this. We can use this. We can use this. We can use this. Any abilities that I'm missing? Not really. I don't use the Charge Undead portion. Alright, number 8. Definitely need this on the bar. What else? What else? We'll put this down here. Might need it in a pinch. No. Okay. And then
Commander?
finally you. Any other abilities? You've got all your abilities down here, right? That's fine. Put this here, put this here. Don't need this down there. I didn't choose the mythic option of Rupture Restraints. They just force you to take that as an FYI. Alright, I never use these abilities anyway, but I'm putting down here regardless. Okay. Now that's done. So, now,
I'll watch your back.
it's been a while, so let's make sure we go ahead and reapply our buffs. She gets Bark Skin, and it should last 24 hours, right? Yep, she gets Bark Skin. He gets Bark Skin. That guy gets Bark Skin. He gets Bark Skin. Now, she goes Frightful Aspect lasts 24 hours. That is fantastic. Okay. Now, I spotted. Is that also? Last 24 hours. Very nice. Okay.
Animosi travisi. Animosi travisi. Animosi travisi. Animosi travisi.
Excellent. Let me check something real quick. How much diamond dust do I have? I've got 183, which means I could get up to 18 casts of True Seeing. And each cast would last 24 hours, so I would say there's no reason not to go ahead. I'm sure one of these vendors has to have more that I can buy. All right, put that on. I just added the ward from Weakness Communal, so I'm good on that. Those are all the... No. You get animal growth. You get animal growth. Righteous Might, I don't need that. Poison. And then she gets an armor upgrade. And none of this conflicts with each other. These are all different buffs. Then finally, no, I don't need that because he's going to use... Alright, that adds displacement and energy protection to everyone. She'll take care of speed, but I don't need anything else from her. Who else do I need? Oh, crap. This is the one bad... I shouldn't have got rid of Ember. I should have got rid of Soseo. I forgot about that. Ember is the one who puts on my Death Ward and Greater Heroism. I won't have access to either one of those. Oh, well, hopefully I won't need them. Except there's a lot of enemies here that'll give me negative locations. But I'm not going back. Screw that. All right. That should be enough. All right. Senior Guardian. The demon looks bored out of his wits. He shifts his attention to you and barks. What do you want? I want to know more about the city. The demon sighs heavily. Oh, these outsiders. Nocticula commanded the guards to instruct our guests on local customs. We are a welcoming city and happy to see you, scum. I mean, happy to meet you, exotic travelers. Anyway, here's a quick guide that will keep you alive in Alan Shinra. At all times, no matter what, you need to remember 4 things. Who rules the land under your feet, what they have forbidden you to do, who you can draw your weapon against, and who you want to avoid offending at all costs. Seriously, you'd be better off impaling yourself on your own blade than going toe-to-toe with some of the denizens of this place. Who runs things in the city? Nocticula, who else? But she's busy sitting in our palace looking pretty and couldn't care less about our business here. That is why her sycophant Shamir, mistress of the harem of ardent dreams, has the final word in the city's affairs. It's not like she cares what's happening either. She just singles someone out, accuses them of some misdeed, and sends them to stew in the cauldron of boiling filth. There's no real rhyme or reason to her behavior. She just does it to keep everyone in line. And, well, it works. Though her power isn't unlimited, there are others in the city whose word carries a great deal of weight. Take Hepzibah, for example. She has a great deal of influence despite being new here, not to mention a demon born of Baphomet. The city is her playground. Shamir is the only one she treats as an equal. Stuck-up bitch. If I were you, I'd steer clear of Baphometics. Scheming jerks, a lot of them. Lady Valexia in the upper city. She's like the leader of Alan Shira's elite. She's always gentle, speaks softly, never rips out anyone's throat in the streets. All in all, I've never met a more sinister and grim creature in my entire life. Ermangalev, the master of the Battle Bliss, also commands some authority. He's a psychopath, even by local standards. This one time, he put on quite a show. He invited all the scum of the lower city to a free performance in the arena. Then he locked the gate and let loose a deep-sea monster in the stands and announced it would cost 10 eyeballs per demon to leave. Do you know Burgaz? He used to have 4 eyes. Now he has 1. Ah, such slaughter. Still makes me giddy with excitement. Among the succubi, Chavaro is in charge. She's an angry bitch, but she acts sweeter than the blood of a righteous man. Monago used to run the 10,000 Delights with Chavaro, found her way in. Must be quite a weasel, that one. Come to think of it, this city's chock full of bosses. Anywhere you have 2 demons, one will always be trying to crush the under its boot. What are the local laws like? It's not like anyone in Al Shinra cares about laws, so we have almost none. Well, there are guards at the gate to keep riffraff out of the really nice places. Nocticula prohibits anyone from laying a finger on visitors from other planes. We're the trading hub of the Abyss, see? Everyone is welcome. Please come again. Thank you very much. But don't unclench your bowels just yet. All of the above applies only to the real movers and shakers. Small fry are either eaten or enslaved. The slave cages are crammed full of extraplanar guests. I see. Then stop wasting my time and be on your merry way. Who do you think I am? The demon gives you an appraising look. Nobody. You may have been a big deal in your world, but this is the Abyss. If I haven't heard of you, then you're not famous enough to be of note. And if you keep bothering me, you will become my lunch. Human meat never gets old, you know? No matter how many centuries you take it for lunch. The demon licks his lips. I want to go through. The demon sucks his teeth and replies, his voice tinged with lazy menace. No can do. This court is where decent people live. When they want to dismember someone, they can go down to the lower city. We're standing here so they won't be bothered by riffraff that wants to dismember them. Believe me, you don't want to go there. The slave traders have magic collars that fasten themselves around the necks of chancers such as yourself and drag them straight to the cages. Out of my way, scum! Yes, that's what I'm talking about. The demon seems to have shrunk and lost most of his bluster. I don't care what Nocticula says. I'd rather live to see another day. Come on, hurry on through while I just happen to be looking the other way. Uh-huh. All right, time to go to the upper city. And I think this is a good place to go ahead and stop. Hope all of you enjoyed the play session today, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.